And we're back with Blue, and this time we have an additional person on. He goes by Serendipidous. Do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, everyone.
What's up?
That's enthusiastic.
Good, good. Anyway, first card, Summer Festival date Maki Nishino. Nishikino, sorry.
I was like,
Uh,
whoa.
when it comes to field, you drop a card, and then you look at the top four, pick a blue character, and ditch the rest. Um, I hate this effect. It's extremely broken for several reasons. It's a little bit better in here because I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that Love Live Blue just isn't as good as the other colors.
Love Life Blue needs all the help it can get.
Yeah, this definitely helps it a lot. Like one of the main reasons why people run blue is for the potential early advanced summon level 3 market from the first set. You have 6 or more climaxes in your waiting room, she becomes a level 2. And this could help set her up more easily.
No, I think this actually makes it worse because you go through your deck so fast that you
Yeah,
won't
there's
actually,
also there's that problem. Yeah, you're
you'll
right.
refresh, you'll probably like you have to go hyper mill
Yeah.
to get her out at level 2 because you have to refresh twice. Because if you use this once or twice, then you're gonna deck out before you get to play that marquee in most cases,
I suppose.
which means that you're gonna have to make an entirely new deck around this card, which I think is worth building around. It's a broken effect.
I think Love Live Blue got enough stuff in the new set that you can seriously build a competitive blue.
Yeah, definitely.
If you just think about this card as simple hand fixing,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it has
yeah,
decent power for its effect too.
It's more than just hand fixing. It just pushes you
it,
towards your next refresh.
it's a very good effect. Bukowski's got also a clone that's not just. I mean, it's a little more balancing that it's just not simply. It's not just simply like music character. Let's herp group to the deck.
No, you see, that already exists. It's an Idol Master.
Yeah, I know what I was saying. Also, Bukowski.
But ultimately speaking, this effect is still dumb. Even in
Yeah.
color form, like, it's still a
Yeah.
dumb effect. You just build your deck differently to accommodate the color restriction.
Uh-huh. Definitely.
Alright, so we'll move on to the next card, which is level 3 Rin. Summer Festival date Rin, 3295. When it comes to play, you can heal 1, and then when you play any climax, it gains 1k and the ability to bottom deck a reversed opponent. Uh, I think it's kind of bad.
It's mediocre.
Bad.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember any other blue that heals.
Maki
So
from
that in
Volume
of
2.
itself makes it so much playable.
Maki from Volume 2.
Oh, it does. Okay.
She's basically the clone
Serendipitous
of
takes all my blue stuff when I get it, so I have little to no play experience with blue at
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm-
Serendipitous, chime in whenever you want. I know nothing about Love Live, so someone has to make up for it.
I think. Well, first off, I know a friend who plays a Ren waifu deck, and this is going to do wonders for the deck, considering none
definitely.
of the other Ren level 3s heal.
Okay.
And then the second ability, I think it's really good because you can just throw it in, and it doesn't matter if you're already running a climax at 3. You could even not be, and you're still going to be able to bottom deck. So if you're not killing them, you're at least getting rid of some of their advantage.
Yeah, I suppose it could help against those pesky characters that you don't want someone to encore back to do wreckage against you on the subsequent turns.
I mean, I have lost games because I bottom deck things before, but that's super rare.
Yeah, bomb deckers are. I think bomb deckers are kind of underrated a lot of the time, but
I think it's
it's
more
underwhelming.
early game when you can't get rid of encore characters.
Yeah, I suppose.
But if you're playing someone, you're both towards the end of the game, running low on cards. This can definitely help your case.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's very valid. I've never had a high opinion of bottom deckers, so I'm kind of biased against them. But I can totally see a case where this is a very viable card, especially since it's just splashable, honestly.
Yeah.
And I
Um,
think another good point that was made was that there isn't a lot of mono blue cards that heal.
There aren't. There's only like one other, I think. Happy Maker, Nishiki no Maki.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fair enough. So I guess we move on to the. I think it's a lot more exciting. The more exciting blue level 3. Hanayo Koizumi. When it comes to stage, you draw 2, drop 1, and 3 cost to drop 2 cards from hand. Ooh, it's going to be good. This ability activates up to once a turn when this attacks. If pants, I think it is.
It's a pass.
Yep.
Yeah, if the pants climax is in the climax zone, you may pay cost. If you do, this stands and gets 3k. So a few things about this card. First, you don't need to reverse, which is great, but also bad.
Because if this card gets reversed,
Exactly. You lose your restand.
yeah.
But on the plus side, you get 3k. So you're 14k. Chances are they won't have an entire front row that can stand up to 14ks. And it cantrips. So
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty good card.
It's definitely a nice boost to blue, especially since it's a pants combo.
Mm.
So it's easy. So inherently, it should be easier to get into your hand. And the
I'm-
on play, draw 2, discard 1 helps you get closer to it as well.
I'm personally really excited about this card. As a Hanyo fan and playing Hanyo waifu, this is going to do a lot of things for just my deck itself.
Wow.
I thought Hanyo, people who liked Hanyo a lot didn't really exist, and I only knew one, and that
We
doesn't really
exist.
do-
We're just very limited.
They're pretty small.
Shout out
Pretty
to
This card
smart.
Terror.
ensures that he's going to show up to our waifu tournament and not cry as soon as he walks in the door.
That's right. And
There's
I'll
actually
actually
a Hanyo
show
player
up
in my
playing
locals.
Hanyo this year.
Like,
So
yeah.
I-
Oh yeah, anyone who loves Hangayo would definitely appreciate this card.
It seems really good, just in general, not just in a Hanyo deck.
Yeah,
And
no,
maybe-
it's definitely worth considering as a finisher option in builds that can now drive with Splash Blue, and you're even more motivated with Splash Blue now because of the 0/0 Maki that we mentioned earlier.
Exactly, yeah, it's a heavy, it's a very
For-
good card
For
in my
mono
opinion.
blue build, you can run this card at 3 along with the festival date Rin we just saw, and just based off playing the pants, you get 2 combos. You can restand and you can bottom deck a card.
Hmm.
Another thing to notice is that this card, I'm not sure if everyone knows or not, this card has a changer that changes into it.
We'll get
And-
to that later.
If you read the first ability,
Wait a
you
sec.
only get the
You
draw
don't
2
get the
discard 1.
You
If
don't
you
get the
play it
draw
from
to discard one.
You don't
Oh,
because
wow.
this because it only activates when it's just played from the hand.
I since it didn't say when this played or changed, I just assumed there wasn't a changer.
Yeah, there actually is a change.
If we go down the list, we will see a changer. Spoiler alert.
Is there a reason for this? Like, is this a balance issue or something?
Well,
Okay.
I mean, think about this thing hitting at level 2 and restanding.
Yeah, paying
That's bad
3 and
enough.
dropping 2. I don't know, like
Pay 3, drop 2, climax combo restand is super expensive. You're not going to get it more than once or twice
it's
unless you
mostly to
trigger
no,
a bunch.
it's mostly to drop 2
Yeah.
because Hanyo herself will give you 2 stock.
Yeah, it's.
But then you've paid 2 for her, so
if you can't cantrip and you do the change, that's a -5 to restand. Or wait, if it's from clock, if it's a clock yourself, it's a -4.
It should be a clock.
If it's
it's a
clock,
lot of stock. It's a
it's-
lot of stock, basically.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of stock, and you're also dropping 4 cards to make a restand happen.
Yeah.
I mostly consider climax phase changes as really win more because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I usually have a backup plan in case I can't get my climax phase change off. So
Oh, sure, of course.
I don't really like changing to this is bad enough. Paying an extra 3 and dropping 2, yeah, it's scary when the opponent does it, but then you look at their hand, realize they have 2 or 3 cards, they have like 2 stock left, and you have a full grip of cards. They probably just hit you to level 3, and now you get to clock kick their Hanyo. I think it's scary, but I don't think it's that bad.
It's a good option for a mono blue, or if you're splashing blue into another color build.
Yeah.
If any deck has good level 2 options, it's probably Love Live. I don't know
Yes.
what level 2 options Blue has, but I feel you might have something better than
Blue
throwing.
didn't
Like,
get the level 2 options.
No, definitely not. Unless you're running like character specific decks. Then
Yeah.
all right, sure. But if you're not running a character specific deck, you have access to yellow, and yellow has good level 2 options.
Yeah.
that's true.
I don't know. I guess that the fact you need to play climax, a specific climax for this is also a consideration, but Pants is by no means a bad climax.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a second most guaranteed trigger climax that will end up in your hand, second to go bar.
I'm pretty sold on this card, but I'm not entirely sold on the change, especially since you don't cantrip from it.
No,
I personally would not play the change.
no.
I don't know why you'd need a restander at 3
A 2.
No,
or 2. Yeah, 2.
Reset
maybe
low.
you really wanted to be a jerk. Anyway, next
Well,
card.
you really feel confident
Signal
you're going
color.
to win right then and there.
Well, there is a valid argument for playing Weiss just to be a jerk. It just makes you a jerk.
I mean, you could also feel confident and be like, oh, I'm just going to try to win when I'm at level 2. Let's go.
Oh,
Get you from 2 for the game. Easy.
Rin, that is what we call being a jerk.
It's
Anyway,
also that in America. Don't worry.
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Let's go on to the next card. So, really, it's a Hanyo. It's a 0025, and if you've got one or few other characters, it's a 3/5 with Encore. This is incredibly bland. Kind of like Rice.
I mean, it's definitely well appreciated. Nonetheless, it helps with blue color fixing. It's not a bad level 0 option.
Yeah, it seems fine to me.
It's a serviceable
with it.
card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
As a blue player, I think it's kind of a staple level 0 that a lot of other sets have, and I think it's going to do a lot for blue level 0 game, so that you're not playing just vanillas.
Okay, so I've got a friend who has a Hanyo high rarity waifu deck, and why does Hanyo have all of these really uninteresting cards at high rarity? Like she has a 1/7k SP.
Because Bushy Road hates her.
They really do.
They do hate her.
I was
know.
very surprised they gave her stuff in the set at all.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of like sorry for like 3 to 4 sets of crap. Here's something
She's been
good.
like basically in the last few, all the last sets.
Well,
she's
I mean, she did
back-
good. Like, she had some noteworthy cards from first and second set, but then onward was kind of like, eh.
She's usually the girl who gets the level 0 and level 2 assist, and that's usually the good card she gets.
Yeah.
Everything
Instead of-
else is very meh.
Yeah. Well, she
I
has the
feel
level
sad.
3. There's like one good level 3 she had from the School Idol Festival first set. The healer and
Oh yeah, the Cow Maiden Hanyo, the 3/2
Yeah.
yellow from SIF. That was probably one of her best cards.
yeah, definitely.
One of?
Probably the best card until this set.
Until this set.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've all agreed this is a very serviceable card,
Yeah.
and that Hanyo is sad because Bushy Road hates her. So next card is Sweet's Fairy Rin Hoshizora. 0035 can't attack, worse than the card we just discussed.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not
You cannot
because
she can't psych attack.
the important thing is she has Rin in name, and Rin
Yeah.
has a Psyker's Wish clone.
Love Wayne Bell, people.
So
For
throwing back
volume
to
2.
our harmonica video, obviously you get bonus points just for having Rin name. Moving on.
We do get bonus points, but I think the Hanyo is still better.
Yeah.
This is a 3/5 though. The side attack, if you're running a 3/5, unless they throw a bomb out, are you really looking to side?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got a 3/5, probably an assister in the back row. It's 4K. I'm gonna stomp everything you have unless it's a bomb.
Yep.
I agree.
I don't see the side attack.
That's not
as bad of a downside.
that's not a drawback. How many 3500s actually have a real drawback?
I mean, I'd rather have this than flip top card of your deck. Oh, it's a climax. Take a damage.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm not sure that effect has saved me. Like,
It will prevent you from triggering that climax.
this is true.
True.
It's more, it hits you to level 1 faster, which can just straight up win you games.
It's just that it's only a hazard. You're having to put characters down at late game, and guess that's one of the very few things you have left in hand to play. And you go, oh, play, check, kill up. Oh, it's a climax. Uh-oh. I'm now closer to dying.
Yeah. But with all that aside, it's a serviceable 3.5k that you can Psyker's Wish back to. You can activate Psyker's Wish with. Other than that, eh. Anyway, best clothing, Rin Hoshizora. 105k. When it comes to stage, you get X power for X power, where X is 500 times each music character you have. It's fine.
It's funny how this kind of ability is on a blue card of all things, because blue is usually more about power gains on the opponent's turn, but this is definitely more of a yellow ability.
Oh, to be honest, I've seen this in blue a lot. Like, there's a Kirito with this effect in SAO.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying that blue is supposed to be the opponent's turn power boost color.
The color pie stopped being relevant with Ilya.
I suppose.
Unfortunately, though, this is a direct copy of a card they've already made.
They have made this before. It wasn't it.
And it's in blue!
That's a little depressing for...
So if you really like this ability, you can run 8 copies of this card.
Was that card a Rin?
Nope, it was Maki.
Oh, well, since this is a Rin, that makes it better than the Maki, because you can...
Agreed.
You can use love win. You can
Character
love
and
win
why you're
Belly
doing
away.
it.
You can love win Belly away.
Pretty much. Alright, next card.
If it's useless on their turn, you're going to want to love wing about it.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think this is it's a fine cleaner, but other than that, it's only good because you can love wing Bellet. Is that the name?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
love
it
wing
looks
bell.
like this was. Yeah.
Sure. So we can move on to a thoroughly more exciting card. Best clothing, Hanyo Koizumi. It's a 116k with Clock Encore, and whenever another music character attacks, it gets 1k, which is really good.
Alpha and I know this card.
It's Devil Survivor.
Yep.
Super
The thing is,
solid.
no.
Hanyo got her level 1 beat stick.
That's actually sustainable.
It's really good.
Blue really needed a sustainable level 1 that can run things over.
And this is
And didn't need a climax combo.
Right.
a climax combo.
This card is going to do a lot for mono blue builds. And
Go on.
like stated, Hanyo really needed a good level 1. Previously, she's basically had vanillas, and that's it.
I'm being told that there's a Stock Soul combo from the last set, which works very well with this. I don't know what that means. I guess you can search for a cost 1 or something.
Yes, there's a 1-0 4500 Hanyo from Volume 2.
Just
On
a
your
Dodson
opponent's-
power.
she gets 500 for every other music character on
Oh,
your
yeah, that's
opponent's
there we
turn.
go. There we go.
And she combos with a Stock Soul. You pay 2 upon playing the climax. Search your deck for a level 1 or lower, place it somewhere on your field.
That seems pretty alright.
Yeah, it's okay at best. No?
Yeah,
It's not a bad combo.
I'm not huge on that combo in Railgun,
Yeah.
but that's a gate and not a Stock Soul, so it's a little different. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that it's fine, especially if you're playing that combo to begin with, which you probably were since you can get the vanilla or the 1-1 support from the TD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get either of those, so this is another good target for it, and it's just a really great core for a mono blue build, or a waifu deck, I guess. All in agreement?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure. So next card. I think this is the last one I get to do before I have to run off.
For sure.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sweets Fairy Maki Nishikino. When this attacks, if the level of the opponent character opposite this is 3 or higher, it gets 3k till the end of the opponent's next turn. This is extraordinarily unexciting, and I think I can do another one if that's all it is.
I personally think the Kira Kira Sensation Hangayo from Volume 2 was a better level 3, anti-level 3 card.
Yep. I'm not a fan of this style of card anyway. I'll deal with your 3s with my 3s. Or
Sounds about
if you
right.
put your 3 in early, in Love Live, I'll deal with it with my Nico counter.
Yep. Okay. So yeah,
I will
I
cry
can
when I crack these.
do this next one, I guess. Bad card. Next one. Best clothing. Maki Nishikino. Comes to field. Search for a music character. Great. It's like the Onodera. And then 1 cost. Drop a card. Up to once a turn. When you kill something, if you have another, if you have the level 3 from the last set on the field, you get to heal. I think this card's viability depends on what the other card does. Is it good?
She's basically the clone of the child deck level 3 Xenon from SAO2.
Yep.
So
So
mediocre.
on play heal and 500 power for every other music character during your opponent's turn.
So extraordinarily mediocre.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That makes this a little worse, but the fact that you can search for it and then start getting quote unquote cheap heals, I don't think they're cheap at all.
No.
Is nice. And
Requiring
something
multiple threes to be out is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
That, and if you're
really
playing
investment.
blue, you're probably splashing yellow in. And if you really want a search effect, grab the Trial Deck Hanukkah and have the plus 2k when it swings.
or you could, search for the restander and kill them.
Right.
But you guys never you don't really want to run 2 climax combos, so we now have 2 restarting climax combos at level 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Both climax reliant.
I was gonna say something about this card. Yeah, it's good that it can activate on the opponent's turn, but again, we've already discussed that needing to have the other marquee level 3 in play is a bit eh. Let's just do the whole
I
thing.
suppose okay in mono monkey. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Going for a heal spam version instead of the focusing on the first set early summon.
yeah, I think so. I think the early summon is a much better level 3 than either this. This is alright. Than the Happy Maker one at any rate. So yeah, the problem with this is it has synergy with a mediocre card, but its other effect is just really good. I don't know about so good that you'd play it. Like Onodera is only good because she comes down at 2 and then sits there for approximately forever. So yeah, opinions?
I'm
kind of eh.
Eh.
It's mediocre. Average at best.
He'll
Pull
lose
the
this
foils
turn.
and find. If you pull foils, at least you can trade them for a ton to the Maki diehards.
And there's actually quite a bit of those.
Yeah,
Yes, there
Maki's
are. You
apparently
will
quite
always have a
popular.
market for a Maki foil.
You'll be surprised.
Fair enough.
So that's
I
my
wouldn't
advice.
be
Take the
surprised.
card, crack it, sell it.
I've got to.
Johnny,
I've got to jump off now. It's been a pleasure, but Will take over from here, and you guys can keep on going and even cover the TD if you want.
Well, thanks for having us.
All
But
right,
no,
then.
not at all. It's been good, and see you guys around.
All right, then. So, moving forward, we're going to be hitting up this 1-0 Christmas State Hanayo Koizumi. It is a global 500 to music, and you may ditch a climax to search for a card with change in its text. So, on play. 1-0. I feel like this card exists.
Yes, they have existed since the first set, starting with a 00500 Maki yellow. And then there's a red clone in the Squirrel Festival setting form of a Homoka.
Yep.
And there was also a green equivalent from, it should have been Kira Kira Sensation Nozomi from Volume 2.
Wasn't there a coterie that did something very similar to this as well?
The code search for anything.
Oh,
The Kotori is when you use a change, you pay 1 rest her to salvage the character.
yeah, that's
Also, note regarding this card, the keyword change must be it has to be like an actual this card it's going to change into something.
Yeah,
not
it has
a
to
card.
be a card with change as an ability, not change as change popping up. And for instance, this card cannot search for herself.
okay.
Or this card cannot search for a card that can come out as a result of change.
Yeah, I don't like these cards personally. I feel like the targets are super limiting.
Actually,
I know a person who runs this effect to search out Brainstormer because I know there's a Brainstormer with change.
Well, I don't know about that one, but I've actually tried testing this kind of card as a one-off to search for backups. There are 3 backups.
Oh, sorry, backups. Yeah, it wasn't.
There are 3
Brainstormer.
backups in the game that have the change ability. There are 2 1-0s. One goes from the first set, it's a Maki, and the other is a Hanayo, and there's a 2-1 Honoka.
Yeah, he uses the search backups.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just don't think it's that impressive an effect.
No, it's
No.
it's whatever.
Because, I mean, are you really... Okay, this is in blue, so we've got to take into account that push-ups is probably going to be your primary counter.
There's that. Yeah.
With counters, it doesn't matter because they're not color restricted.
Right, but if we're factoring in counters that change,
Well,
probably
you may not be running the change target. You may just be running a counter with change as a text, just so you can search it.
right? I'm following it. Just I don't know.
I think the only change worth searching for in blue anyway is the Rin that changes into the level 3 cat Rin from SIF.
Oh, the pajama ring.
Yeah.
But you don't need a 1/0 body to go get that card.
Like
Right.
you have 3 level zeros.
Including
To go.
a
You have
search
3
ring.
level zeros to go for like the same exact thing.
Okay, so
It's
not
just
a
like
great
they don't
card.
have the global 500. The global 500 is a nice add-on, sure. But we
Sure,
have
but that's
better-
only if you're running a mono blue deck. If you're not
Yeah.
running mono blue, you have better options.
Yes.
So moving on, card is you have better options elsewhere. Effectively is what I'm getting.
yeah.
Agreed.
The 1/0, it's Bon Dance Niao Rin Hoshizora. If you have 3 or more other music characters, it gains 1,000 power. And when you attack with Rin Secret, is that a stock soul or?
Plus 2
So
soul.
plus 2 soul.
That's exciting. I wish it top decked. If you attack with the climax combo plus 2 soul, this gains 1,500 power and bottom deck for the turn. My Terraformers deck has a combo very similar, except it top decks. Bottom decking at level 1, it goes up to 7k. It's okay. It gets over basically most of the relevant clock encores, which is the Xenon / Onodera version at 1/0, the 500 for every other clock encores, as well as hand encores with the similar power.
It
Like 7k, I mean, they can still counter 8k with 2 of the back rows.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I guess if you really have to get rid of something, you could use your push-ups on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say it's not worth running most
It's
of the
not.
time.
It really isn't.
It feels to me like a lot of work for nothing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a triple cancel waiting to happen.
Well, I
I
mean,
think
if
it wasn't a plus 2 soul.
it was stock soul, I'd be a little bit more inclined to run it.
Maybe even if it's a special trigger 1K1 type.
2k1 is actually a big deal here too, because it lets you get over
Yeah.
potentially
Yep.
some level 2s with it.
Yeah. But the fact it's plus 2 soul is
Plus 2 soul is not a bad climax. It's just not good
it's
with
not
this effect.
not good with this kind of effect. Yeah, you're right.
If it was a top deck effect, it'd be a lot more effective, but that usually goes to red, so I wouldn't run it. I don't think anyone should run it.
No.
Maybe in a waifu deck. I don't know if waifu Rin has a better level 1 combo.
There are
You're gonna run if you're running waifu Rin, you're probably running the 1/1 book.
Alright, cool. We have a better
Yeah.
combo, so it doesn't even belong there. Guess we're moving on.
It's a 1/1 book that fills your hand, so
Yeah.
yeah,
That's-
it's a
that's
draw
always good.
to it's a cantrip kind.
Okay. So next, it's a 1/1 famed goldfish scooper Maki Nishikino. During your opponent's turn, it gets 500 for every music character, and it cannot be reversed by auto effects, making it effectively a 1/1 AK bomb. No, I'm gonna say just right now, this is not a card you should ever run because it's simply too small on your own turn to even really be reliable as an attacker.
I say
Yeah.
this though.
At
I don't know
7k,
Maki-
why do you ever want to run something that you can't control the power on it?
exactly. If you're gonna
Your opponent will set up and beat this every time.
If your goal is to set up a wall, you need something that's big on both turns so that you can safely attack with it on your own turn.
Which is why the clock encore Umi and Ellie are really nice.
So in this case, again, it's just an 8k bomb on your opponent's turn before the global 500 that you're getting from your 2 back rows. It's just not big enough. Being 7k on your own turn means that you are well within every card's counter range.
Right.
So it's just not worth it.
Does Maki have something better to run at 1?
Unfortunately, not that I remember because a
I
lot
don't
of her
think she
cards,
does.
a lot of her cards were either like on play power or power based on having a certain number of level zeros, like that Devil Survivor card.
Alright, so you have okay. The fact that the Double Survivor card exists means that this already should not be played regardless. Running 2 costed level 1 cards is way too
Maki
iffy.
character deck, maybe.
Yeah, the Maki waifu deck is pretty atrocious at level 1.
Yeah,
I mean, not that this is not, it's something, I guess. It's at least a speed bump.
yeah, it helps. It
it's-
helps take some, but
It's an iffy card.
Well, luckily for Maki, all of her fans are devoted, loyal, and don't care if they lose at Weiss. So this is a fine card.
Okay, with that note, we're gonna move on to the next card.
Yeah, I think it's main mail for that.
Christmas date Rin Hoshizora. It's a 2-1 counter, 2-5 counter. If you use the back of this card and your opponent's character in battle, which means the character they're attacking with is level 3 or higher, you get to give another character, one of your characters in battle, which means the character that's being attacked, 1,000 power. So if they're attacking with a level 3, you have a 3-5 counter. If they're not, you have a 2-5 counter. This is a bad counter.
Yeah, this is pretty
Sadly,
terrible.
Rin already has a 2-1. If you flip the top card's music,
Yes.
it makes her a 3-5 counter.
And that's way better than that.
And you have 3-5 event counter push-ups. I mean,
This is a bad
It's just
counter.
a moot point.
Do not run this counter. We're gonna move
I mean,
on.
I guess this
unless
is
you
more.
really want to see Rin throwing snowballs.
I guess this is more guaranteed late game where you really must have the 1,000 for some reason, and you don't want to take the risk with the this is our miracle ring from Extra Booster. But that's a very, very odd scenario.
It's an awkward counter. I just don't see it being
Yeah,
reliable.
it's like-
I mean, if they see it in your deck, they're already going to know how to play around it at any point. If they don't see it, they're probably still accounting for a 3-5 counter regardless.
Right.
So it's a moot point there too. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
Pretty much, as soon as you see blue in Love Live, you should be automatically assuming 4 push-ups.
Exactly. So
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be moving on to the next card. A 2-1 Night Stall Hopping. It says Stole, so like the translation is probably wrong. Stall Hopping. Hanayo Koizumi. A 2-1 6500. When this card is placed from hand to stage, give a music character 3,000 power. And this then changes with a pay 2 send this to clock climax phase change to the re-standard. I wouldn't run this card.
We already mentioned our reasons earlier.
Yeah, not getting the cantrip is a big deal. Having a re-standard at level 2 doesn't matter because you're not going to kill them at level 2 unless it's Marika. And you effectively have to ditch like 4 cards to get her out and then still manage to restand. It's just not worth it.
No.
Sadly, the first ability isn't even all that useful because you're going to be playing, if you're playing the in the waifu deck, because you're going to be playing a Hanyo that gets stupid. How big is that thing?
It's a 10-5 base at level 2.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so you're already over anything anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So that's it for this card. Moving on, we got a 2-1 Christmas date, Maki Nishikino, 7,500
It's playable
base.
for the reasons I mentioned before. Tsundere lovers love being tsundered.
Wonderful. So if you have 6 or more cards in hand, which is quite a feat at level 2 sometimes, it becomes a
Yeah.
9k base. If you reverse a battle opponent, and it had the climax, you can draw 2 for 1. It's actually not a bad plus.
The good thing is it is a 2K1 climax.
Okay, so you're very likely to get over something too. The problem is the 6 or more cards in hand is actually a super iffy thing. First of all, this means it's impossible to have the power gain and this card in play at the same time. Let's say you're going in with 7 cards in hand. If you're going with 7 cards in hand into level 2, then you can do this.
Sure.
If you have the stock, though, you could drop a Maki or a Maki level 3 from set 1 early and fill the hand up.
Yeah, it's just such an iffy thing, though. It's going to be difficult to have the power boost in of itself. Luckily, there is no level condition on what you need to reverse, so
Yeah, so that's actually a good game.
you can actually still make things happen with this.
Yeah.
So 2K1 actually helps a lot. It does maintain your hand, which is very important when you want this card to go off.
Yeah,
I think it's very workable.
it is.
I just still don't see a reason why you'd necessarily need this over something else. I mean,
no.
it could be 10k with your back rows. So
Sure.
the next card, Alpaca,
Female.
female. Female alpaca. I'm
The white
surprised.
one is apparently male.
I'm surprised it doesn't have an alpaca trait. It's awful though. It's
It
a
has animal trait, please.
animal trait. Yeah, this card is awful, even by vanilla standards. So
Moving along.
no 2 soul. That's it.
I think the worst thing about this card is it does not work with the Haneo plus 2 soul combo from set 1, which summons alpacas from your deck.
And
It
it's
doesn't work with that.
because of the fact there's a female symbol on this card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Or else it would be really fun.
Yeah. It
Tragic.
would actually be a really cool little theme deck, but that kind of just ruined it.
However, again, we gotta laugh. We're gonna take a little bit second to laugh at the Love Life fan base. This will show up in decks because it is Alpaca.
Yeah.
I'll swing with Alpaca for game. No, there's literally a guy that would go to California regional events, and he has a chance to play blue yellow Love Live, and he'll attack with and he literally attacked with an Alpaca when someone's like 3-6.
Tragic.
Game.
But this Alpaca is by Alpaca standards bad. Two
Alpaca's
vanillas with no 2 soul is just bad.
Yeah, that 1,000 power.
It's not worth the soul. It's not worth the soul. But moving forward, we have Gothic Girl Maki Nishihino, 0/0. Global 500 on opponent's turn to music characters. Pay 2, rest this, draw a card. Is there a frontal 500 pay 2, rest this search in Love Live?
No, but there is a 500 to center middle position character.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 of them, 1 green and I think 1 blue that will be coming up in this set. That you pay 2 restless to search for a missing character.
I don't like this effect.
It's
The 2 effects are okay. It's just pay 2 to draw is only good if there's like a climax or event you need to get to your hand, and you're willing to gamble for it.
It would have been better if it was a search.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
What does the girl in Idolmaster do? Does she search or draw?
She searches.
Okay.
Octime
Yeah.
Makoto?
She gets 500 power and 1 level 2 characters in front of her on opponent's turn, and you may pay to rest her to search for any music
That
character.
card is not fair, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, wrong
Well, I was
idol.
using it as a comparison. No,
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just that card is better than this. Pay 2 draw is only useful if you need to draw specific
They were
events or
basically
climaxes.
saying, hey, this card was a mistake.
Yeah.
No, they needed to put Aki in this outfit with some triangles in the background, and this is all they had left to come up with.
But moving forward, we got Princess Kaguya, Rin Hoshizora. When this card is placed from hand to stage, you may pay 2 to draw a card. When you may sack this card to basically act as Field Encore to another card. Field Encore is fun if there are things that you need to save. Is there anything you need to save?
If you're playing the old 1/1 Rin, she has hand encore, so I can't.
So no.
I forgot
I
one.
feel I don't see it. Is
Uh,
there any Hanius you throw away to save?
No.
No.
No, not really.
There's
Because
not too much to really save.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Field Encore is actually not bad in the decks that like lack Encore on cards, but
I mean,
LL's got a lot of encore.
yeah.
So I guess that's it for that card. Fairy at the Rink, Hanyo Koizumi. It's a 0/0 global 500 to Hanayos, and it gives the front row center slot 500. Waifu card.
Yeah.
This
Nothing
is
more
gonna
else to say.
like topple cities in the Hanyo build. Like
Yeah.
the Hanyo build needed this so badly.
I would say.
It's actually a very substantial power boost. So
Yeah.
But this next card I think is actually completely hilarious. It's actually a very dumb card. Skate Together, Hanaya Koizumi. Their front center slot gets 500 power, and you can pay 1 rest this to mill 4, and for every hit, you may choose one of your opponent's characters, and that character cannot stand.
That's a pretty funny ability.
I love this card.
It's hilarious.
I love this card.
The fact that it doesn't say front row is a big deal. You can tap down their brainstormers, and they can't brainstorm. The fact that
No.
it doesn't say front row cards doesn't matter, because you can still tap down their front rows, and then they have to play over it, which is usually at a minus.
Yeah.
This
It's
effect
it's hilarious.
This effect is really dumb.
It's really good. I'm surprised it wasn't a rare.
Yeah, it's a common of all things, I know, right?
Yeah.
I've dubbed it Mother Russia Hanyo.
Mother Russia. Even though she's clearly, there's only one
She's
quarter
got a
Russian.
little Russian fur hat on.
We're doing a pauper tournament here in Danville at the end of next month.
Oh
and
my god.
I can't wait to bust this out. I am throwing this in a mono red build just to have it, just to lock down all the stupid stuff I can't wait.
It's a really
Exciting.
good card. Like
Yeah.
it's a different kind of plus, and
It's a very odd kind of advantage engine.
it's very funny and amusing.
Yeah. I mean,
The only problem with the card is if you still can't get over to them, or if they still have cards in their hand, they might just not care.
yeah.
So
And timing, with this card, timing is pretty important.
yeah, and again the fact that it can miss if it's a rest this, so you don't get like multiple chances in a
Yeah, I
turn.
know.
There are a lot of opportunities that could be ruined because you used this effect and didn't hit a climax.
Yeah.
It's a very high risk card,
Kind.
but if you hit it, like
Yeah. Yeah, you're golden.
you're golden. Good things happen to you.
Right.
But,
I mean, and you're driving your opponent up a tree.
yeah, it's going to be very frustrating to play against this if they hit. So
Will you run multiples like this? Nah.
I would
I'm
run.
gonna run it as a 2 of in the deck I aforementioned. Just because I'll be able to salvage it out.
Yeah, it's going to be 2. But moving forward, because that last card is very silly. This one is a Christmas Carol Maki Nishikino. It's a 2500 base. On an opponent's turn, if you have 5 or more cards, it's a 4/5 base or 4/5 power. It's
Yeah, better lower zeros.
it's a 0/0 color fixer. It's just not very interesting.
If you want color fixing at blue, you have a 004K Maki.
Yeah.
That those two on play.
Cool. So yeah, it's a color fixing card. It's
Yeah.
not very interesting. Moving forward, I'll serve you Maki Nishikino, 1/0 4500. Oh wow, it's actually just a clone from Elizabeth in Persona.
You know what's actually a little sad? Elizabeth says, yeah, 5 or more cards in hand. She gets 2K power in addition to her base 4K.
yeah,
This
yeah.
at 6.
Yeah, but she has 500 more base power, so fundamentally they're going to be
Oh no.
about the same size.
I don't know about you, but I feel pretty shafted.
Yeah, I like Elizabeth better too, just because.
5 cards is easier
5
to
cards is easier
maintain
than
than 6. Let's
6.
be fair here.
But functionally they're going to be very similar.
I suppose.
I guess this is what fixes that Maki lacking level 1 cards problem.
Yeah.
I guess it gives you warm bodies.
Yeah, it gives you something to play.
I don't see it played outside of a Maki build.
Yeah, no, this
Like,
card is.
you're better level 1s in competitive builds.
Yeah, it just.
Sweeping over.
Yeah, there are bigger level 1s that are costless.
Yeah. Or even like 1 cost that can stay on the field for like as long as you really want to.
But yeah. Could be running in a waifu deck. Doesn't really belong elsewhere.
No.
The next card in the list, it's Christmas Bell Rin Hoshizora 105K. Ditch, pay 1, ditch the level 3 Rin from the last set. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, if you do this, you can basically use that level 3 as a 3K counter.
Meh.
Oh, and it also gives 3K to
Yeah.
herself. If you,
Yeah, it could.
it's very good at stopping on reverse effects to an extent.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
and it definitely has your opponent trying to play a guessing game of whether or not you have a Happy Maker ring in hand.
well, it's not really a huge guessing game because
It's not.
it's still in a
If
beginning.
you play
of
this
attack
down, you're
phase.
probably saying, "Hey, I have this in hand. Watch out."
Yeah, it just
The Ring
sometimes.
Waifu deck, though, doesn't have a lot of 1/0s. This is a pretty viable option for them if they can keep it alive through through their turn.
That's the problem. They're gonna have to side attack on their turn to keep it
Right.
around.
Yeah, it's this card's
But-
terrible.
With that deck, you're also dropping the 1/1 book or the book climax combo. So side attacking isn't completely terrible.
Yeah,
I suppose.
The problem that you have to discard the Happy Maker Rin, which you're probably not running more than one of it to begin with, is very meh.
What's
And the
the-
waifu deck, the
I
what's
mean,
waifu deck.
if you're
is
doing
too.
it, if you're doing it in a waifu style, you're gonna probably run multiple.
And remember, you're filling your hand up with the climax combo at 1/1.
That's true.
what's the Happy Maker do?
She is an on play. You pick 2 cards from your opponent's waiting room, shuffle them back into the deck,
Oh, okay, it's the girlfriend's card.
and then she has a climax combo with a pants on attack. Is it pay 1 and search for 2 or something like that?
Okay, yeah, okay, I know those effects. That card's not bad. I actually really like that effect.
Well, let me go double check just to make sure I'm not like.
No, I think you're right on that, Ren.
All right.
I actually like that card. That seems like a fun card. But
So with the level 3 being playable, I could see this as a pretty viable choice in the waifu build.
yeah,
I mean, it's not as exciting as what Hanukkah, Umi, or Coterie got, but you're playing Love Live Blue, you're screwed already.
Yeah, it's
It's
still
okay. You can always hope for the Love Live School Idol movie set.
it's still an iffy card. It's fine though. It's not like completely worthless.
Not playing Maki.
But the next card is Secret Handmade Cooking Maki Nishikino. When this attacks, if there's a blue climax in the climax zone, you may draw ditch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's very playable if
It's
you
playable.
want a hand fix and you don't mind not plussing.
I suppose.
Well, I guess sometimes there's, 4 climax hands, and that's a way to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then your opponent knows you're out 4 climaxes and they'll play a +2 soul and you'll cry. I know I do. Anyways. Next card. Yeah. Okay. This is not a meaningful card at all. This card is really good. 1-0, 6,500 on play, mill 2. If there's a
No,
climax.
on attack.
Oh, sorry, on attack, whatever. On attack, mill 2. If you mill a climax, this gets -2 soul for the turn. I don't even care. This is a very, very, very good card in my
You're
opinion.
still at a 1065 beater.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good beat stick.
it's very big,
And it goes to your deck fast.
and
faster.
it helps you mill out your deck. And
Are
frankly,
you
the odds of you hitting a climax aren't enormous, in a lot of circumstances. So it's not like you're gonna get the -2 soul every time.
in the Hanyo waifu? Are you playing? Is there a climax at 1?
The stock soul. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
also-
She would be a 2 soul in most cases in the Hanyo waifu build.
Yeah, if you
So
do happen to
if
hit
you
it like a
neg
stop
out,
soul or
there's still a
2K1.
shot you're doing a damage.
Yeah. So you're still very likely to deal damage regardless. Even if you mill a climax and you happen to hit another climax, then you're still in there. So I like the card. Pretty big beater.
Yep, can't complain for it at a common.
Yep.
I think it's definitely, since you have like a new blue Akatsuki Azisa clone thing, it's actually not bad work. It's not a bad beer looking. It's not a bad beer to overlook.
Yeah. So very playable card. Pretty solid common. But next up we got Handmade Ramen Rin Hoshizora. Pay 1 at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. You may pay 1 to give it 2,000 power, and it has Hand Encore. And it's a bad card.
Yeah.
Even in the waifu build, you're going to run the 1-1-6-5 with Hand Encore.
Yeah.
The
It's,
climax combo to draw more cards.
yeah, it's just not a very strong
I
card.
think 116. I think it's 116K.
Is it 1-1-6 or
I think
feel
they
like-
have the same stats.
At this point, it's not a matter of power anymore. Like, having to pay 1 to get more power on the opponent's turn every turn is just not worth it.
No. There are better choices. Look elsewhere.
You know?
I mean, it's a comment, so it's whatever.
So, yeah. I wouldn't play it.
No.
But next card on the list, it's Moon Watching Ya, Rin Hoshizora. During your opponent's turn, all of your characters gain 1,500 power, so it's a global 1,500 on your opponent's turn. And when this card is placed from hand to stage, you may draw ditch. Draw ditch isn't bad. Global 1,500 is actually pretty solid.
I was going to say, I'd be very tempted to play this in the Rin waifu.
Yeah.
A lot of the effects seem to be
Yeah.
boosting on opponent's turn only.
Yeah, like the 1-1 Snow Halation Rin from the last set. Which gets 500 for every other Rin card. I think it was opponent's turn, I might be wrong.
I mean, it's a bit better than the version, for instance, that Terraformers has. Terraformer has only a global level assist on opponent turn. So it's worse than this, but her second effect is better.
Yeah.
Draw ditch is fine. It's nothing super. You could potentially draw into like a climax you need. So, you could definitely run this if
It's
you're.
worth looking into.
Yeah. I just still haven't seen a very good reason to try to commit to blue in a meta deck.
Nope.
But next up, we got Healing Menu, Hanayo Kazumi. I'm surprised this isn't traded with Rice. Experience. Oh, it's another one of these tragic ones. What's the Happy Maker Hanayo Kazumi do?
She's like a 3-2, 8,500, gets 1,000 power for every other Hanayo character you have. And did she heal? No, I don't know if I don't think she healed.
Is she an early play?
Oh, good question. I'm trying to remember.
It's a draw 2, discard 1.
There we go. And the 1,000 power for every other Hanayo card, I believe.
Yep.
So potentially a 12,500 base before taking Black Roll into account.
This gets the same opinion from me for the last one that required you to have 2 of the level 3s in your
Yeah.
experience. 1, that's already iffy. 2, doesn't matter, it's just a big power beater, and you have better power beaters at 2-1 anyways.
Except for in character specific deck, this is actually a very key card for the Hanyo deck. She has pretty much nothing else to run at 2.
Okay, well,
A level assist.
yeah,
Besides the levels.
And I mean, if he gets this going, this is just gonna be an unbeatable beater.
It's
I mean,
a 10-5 base.
it goes up to 10-5. Once you attack twice, it goes up to 13-5, and with back rows, it can be a bit bigger.
Yeah, when her blue character attacks against Red King, yeah.
I would run 4 of the Happy Maker just to make sure.
You would have to run 4.
You would
It's
ha-
not-
you
it's-
have no
it's-
choice.
It's not like I would run. No, it's like if you're running this card, you would mandatory have to run 4 of that Happy Maker, and that Happy Maker is also just bad.
That's Hanaya.
She just gets big and beats things.
Yeah,
She does get big B6.
it's just not a very interesting card.
Alright, let's move to events.
Yeah, so now it's
Now, these
the
are fun.
the events. Events are always fun.
Yeah.
1-1. Choose a character, give it 3,000 power at the end of opponent's turn, send this to memory. So they literally took the green pendant from Nisekoi, made it slightly better, and that's it. That's all they did.
Maki needed something at 1.
Yeah, she needed better power levels.
Yeah. This
Oh.
helps.
With one character, one time.
I don't know. These events are that event is bad in Nisekoi. It's not gonna be great here either.
No. It's whatever.
It's whatever. And then you still run into the problem that you're running blue. 2-1, Mochi and Rice. Choose one of your standing characters with Hanayo and rest it. If you do, you can look up to 4 cards from your library, choose one and put it into your hand, put the rest back on top of your deck in any order, and give your characters a character 2,000 power. Actually, not a bad event. At 2-1, you get to look at the top 4. You get to control your triggers, or at least know what you're triggering in what order. And that's a pretty big deal a lot of the time. It's a waifu deck card, though.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Not bad. And the last card to go over in this set. This year is Great Fortune. It's a 2-2 event. If you have 2 or fewer music characters, you cannot play this card. If you play this card, choose one of your opponent's cost 1 or lower characters and bottom deck it. Send this to memory. So it's a back row killer.
Once every time.
But on the upside of it, it doesn't have a specific character that you need.
Yeah, no
Sure.
specific character is nice. It's just back row killing is generally not necessarily worth it. It's very
2 stock, it's pretty
It's a
heavy
very
investment.
expensive card at 2 stock to kill a back row. It has no added utility beyond that, and you'd have to be very concerned with very specific back rows to be wanting to run this card. So this is more of a meta call to
It
me.
is.
If you're, like, for instance, dealing with a lot of little busters players and you really like healing, then sure, go for it.
Sadly, you can't do that in blue very
Yeah.
well.
Nope.
No.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
there was
still
that
shafted.
level 3 that you could pay 1 ditch 1 to heal if you had the Happy Maker.
Right.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's So that's actually every card in the
Booster set.
booster set. Already kind of running long on this video, so I guess some final thoughts on the set from you guys.
It's definitely an improvement from Love Live Volume 2, I would say. Sure, it still continues to omit yellow as it was with that set, but it does bring a pretty fair amount of density to your table. For competitive wise, sparing nothing.
Yeah.
Waifu-centric decks, big boosts all around, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Audrey?
I mean, after SIF 2, or I'm sorry, after Love Live Volume 2, they probably owed us.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when I was going into the competitive season last year, I actually kind of felt down in the dumps playing LL because I felt SIF was kind of mediocre, and EV really didn't help all that much even when it came out overall because it was very flavorful. So I felt this was a nice push to get Love Live at least back into the conversation again. I mean, I'm not going to say it's made it the best series or anything like that, but
it will definitely be
I
a
feel
contender.
very confident I could take some LL now and wreck some heck against top meta decks.
It will definitely be a contender to look out for.
Yeah. My general opinion is there is a lot of good stuff in the set. It makes the set a little bit better. It still hasn't gotten anything that screams you should run this deck to me. For instance, like there are other decks that kind of do the level 1 power game better and have better finishers on the top end. But as far as like a good toolbox that goes, Love Lives definitely still has all that going for it.
It could definitely, if you want to do something, you could find it in this set somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like this set and the capo are basically where you're going to find most of the funny tools.
Right.
But
Patched a lot of holes for character-specific decks. Which
Yes.
is
It's definitely well appreciated.
And it definitely is going to breathe some life into decks and probably promote a lot of builds without yellow.
yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. I don't know. I'm just looking at the deck right now. Again, I don't know a lot of the other older set tools. It still feels like yellow might still be the way to go at level 1.
I haven't replaced my 1-0 yellow. That's where I'm having a hard time.
We'll have to definitely play test this some, see if maybe like green might overtake it somehow. We'll have to see.
But all things considered, Love Live definitely a lot more pleased with this set than the last one for certain.
Oh, definitely.
So any final shoutouts before we close out the video? No one?
No, not that I know of.
All right,
In
cool.
particular.
No shoutouts in particular. That's all good.
I just
I guess
hope that
I
fellow
should-
Love Livers that play Weiss Schwarz. I hope you're excited for what you could build. August said you feel like your favorite girl got shafted from the past 4 sets.
I guess I got a few. First off, I'm going to give my shout out to Hanukkah for being the lovely, wonderful waifu that she is. And then I got to give a shout out to my real life significant other. Because frankly, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing LL. And, he's definitely the person who keeps my head on my shoulders.
Alrighty. So that's Rin and Audri joining me today, talking about Love Live. Alfred, or lycheepunnet, as he's also known as, is not with us today. Or was for a while, and then left, and then he won't be coming back. We also had now I'm forgetting his tag. What is your tag?
Serendipidous.
Serendipidous. Yeah, Serendipidous joining us for this last segment. Glad you guys watched this video. This is Top Tier Tiers doing a extremely long set review this time. This one running a lot longer than some of our other ones. I guess that's the power of waifus.
The power of idols.
or the power of anime idols.
Yeah, IMOS, you'd probably go longer. IMOS fans are pretty dedicated.
IMS fans are pretty dedicated. IMS also generally gets better cards.
Oh, we'll see about that one, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just comparing IMS to, like, the last IMS release to this Love Live release.
Okay, say no more.
They got
We're
Azusa.
done. We're done.
Oh, no, I want to hear this argument.
They got
really?
Azusa
Okay.
and glorious version of Ilya. I don't know, man.
You want to hear?
I
think
mean,
that could be saved for another video.
I mean, Love Live's never gotten a ban list.
But then you could get into the argument, does IMOS' stuff really still belong on the ban list?
No, not really anymore.
Right.
But-
I mean, we all crumble before Kantai at times, so.
I mean, I don't play Idolmaster or Love Live, so like
Oh, okay.
I'm not into this anime idol business. Something about playing the manliest sets. Damn, you get that Sengoku set. But anyways,
Sengoku.
thanks for watching. You can find us on our blogs, our top tier blog. Most of us are regulars at Pojo as well, if you guys want to ever stop by there. But I believe the forum was pretty dead after we started the Skype group. Anyways, thanks for watching.